So, self-doubt. I think it's fair to say that we all deal with it at many points in our life, many different times in our life, especially when we're trying to achieve something that is in our heart or has been in our heart for a long, long time. So let's unpack it and let's have a little chat about what we can do about it, how we can navigate through those times of self-doubt. My name is Alice, and I help people to turn their challenges into golden opportunities for growth. And I also share lots of tools for self-empowerment and for finding your passion, your purpose, and just more playfulness in our lives as well. So if there are things that appeal to you, I'm going to be sharing loads of tools, all to do with our purpose and our passion and how we can make that part of our everyday reality. So I'd love you to subscribe. I'm really wanting to build a community of like minds and support. And so if that's something that you're interested in, I'd love to see you over on my channel. So don't forget to subscribe and also to share this message with even one other person that you think might need it, so that we can help, well, share the love, and also you can help get this message out there as well. So let's go back to self-doubt. It's definitely something I would say that we all feel at some point or another on our journey of self-actualization. So let's just say that you've got this dream, you've got this thing that you want to achieve, and you've had it for a long, long time. It could be that you want to step out and start your own little platform on social media. It could be that you have a book that you want to write, or an art or creative project that you want to do. It could be that you want to start a little small business or a side hustle. And the idea comes, and that comes from inspiration, right? That comes from your higher self. So that's our godlike self. I like to call it my higher self, or sometimes I call it my godlike self. It's the higher aspect of ourselves, right? It's our true soul essence. Some people as well call it the superconscious mind. And this is what we could call our true nature, without all of the bombardment of stress and fear and trauma and these old memories, right? Not only old memories, but just things that we have to deal with on a daily basis that sometimes can drain our spirit. But our superconscious or our higher self doesn't even need to deal, like it's in the higher realms. So it's not dealing with those kind of lower aspects. It's beyond our subconscious mind, so it doesn't have all of those memories. Where we could say our subconscious mind is our inner self, or some people call it our inner child as well. And our subconscious mind holds on to all of the memories from our whole lifetime. And if you believe in reincarnation, it holds on to all those memories from our past lives as well. And, you know, our true self, let's say, not our true self, but by the age of 7, we've been pretty much conditioned by our parents, by our early schooling. And so by the age of 7, we've often formed these ideas or these conditions of what's possible and what's not possible. And unfortunately, a lot of us would have had a lot of self-doubt handed down to us from our parents and our early caregivers about what was possible. And a lot of the time, we were just encouraged to, find work, go and get a job, go and get a mortgage, all of those things. We were very rarely encouraged to do the things that really made us happy. They were kind of considered hobbies or, daydreams or, things of that particular nature. They weren't really considered realistic ideas that we could build passion projects or side hustles or even our life purpose. We were never really encouraged to do that. So really what I'm trying to say is that we've got three aspects of ourself. We've got our superconscious mind or our godlike self, which has no conditions. It's where our inspiration for all the things we love come from. And I suppose, if you've ever had you on a really, really good day where you're in the flow, you have all these ideas, all this inspiration, nothing seems to bother you, that's your higher self. Then we've got, like I said, our subconscious self, which is also known as our inner child, which is the one that holds on to all the memories. And then we've got our ego self, which is our personality. It's the one that we show to the outside world. So oftentimes our self-doubt will come from two different places. It will come from our subconscious mind, it will usually come from there because that is the one that is dominant. That controls 90% of our daily actions of our day-to-day life. It's the underneath of the iceberg, let's say. You've got the tip of the iceberg, which is like this, and then you've got the underneath, which is like that. And this is the one that has all of our memories from childhood, and you could say like past lives as well. So usually our self-doubt is going to come from our subconscious mind, our inner wounds, where all of our trauma from childhood is stored, or it can come from external sources, from people around us. And this is why I'm going to do a separate video about that. But I believe that when you're building a dream, just keep it quiet. Don't discuss it. Just shh. Don't discuss it with anybody else, because if you're already prone to self-doubt and then you've got more self-doubt coming in from an external source, it's going to be very difficult to navigate that. So here's a very simple way that you can navigate that inner self-doubt when it comes up. The one that comes from your subconscious or your inner child, is to basically start an inner dialogue or a self-dialogue with that inner self. And first of all, you can get your journal out if you want to. I do this kind of in two different ways. I do it with journaling, and I also do it with just self-dialogue, where I'll be, maybe going into meditation in the morning or evening, and I'll just start speaking to that inner child about the self-doubt. And first of all, just becoming curious. Okay, so where did that come from? And we know that it came from our childhood, often. And so just become curious about why that is there. Did you feel that was part of your dialogue between your parents and yourself? Did you feel that you got a lot of this self-doubt from school or from, some of your teachers? So just, first of all, step one, become curious about this self-doubt. Where did it come from? And maybe you can get your journal out as well and just write about where this self-doubt actually originated. And then you can go back to that part of yourself and you can just say, I understand why you have this self-doubt. But also, I understand that you want to be free of it, right? You don't want to carry it around all of your life. And so you can just reassure them that you, as an adult now, are going to be working on clearing that self-doubt. And even though you can feel it, it doesn't mean you have to pay attention to it. Because really, you could just say that that's a block between you really manifesting what you truly, truly desire, which comes from your higher self. So that's a little block between you and your higher self. So you can go back and you can do a little self-love meditation, which I'm going to share as well. I'll be sharing lots and lots of little meditations. But first of all, just sit with it and just acknowledge it. And then with that awareness, just send it love. Send it loving kindness and just notice that it's not part of your higher self. It's a part of fear, because your higher self has no fear. Your subconscious mind holds all the fear. So that's your little inner child that we've got to do the work on. So just reassure it, recognize it, listen to it, and just say yes, but we're going to work on clearing that so that we can be free. So there's lots of different ways to clear it. Today, I just wanted to share a little awareness of where that comes from and how you can create a self-dialogue around it. So get your journal out, speak to it before you meditate, before you go to sleep, or first thing in the morning. And I'm going to share some tools like self-love meditation and also some EFT tools. So stay tuned for those. But to start with, just become curious about where that comes from and reassure it that you're now going to start doing the work to clear it so that you can be free. And even though you have that self-doubt, it doesn't mean that you need to pay attention to it. Actually, your work or your goal is to clear it. And even though you feel it, you've got everything within you to overcome it. So it's really normal to have it. Stay tuned, because I am going to be sharing some tools like EFT and like a lovely, beautiful little self-love meditation so that we can work with this. So thank you so much for watching. Yeah, it's a completely normal part of going through our lives, and it's a completely normal part of dealing with any kind of goal. So stay tuned for the next part.